I'm building a pavilion, and when you do that, it's got to have a lot of brackets. And brackets, they're expensive. So I decided I'll save some money and buy a powder coat gun. But that means I'm going to have to build a powder booth.
I wanted to show you I got it all put back together. And then, ooh, it's ugly on the outside. Tomorrow I'll try to see if I can get this fan cut out through that opening so it can draw the air from here so that when we powder coat in here, it'll suck it all out through there, through the filter. Just about ready with the powder coat booth. Here's exhaust. Works pretty good. It's certainly not beautiful or perfect, but filter is installed. Turntable is up here on the top to rotate the part. Plenty of light. Now just get a few wires in place, some air lines set up, and we'll be about ready to go.
And if I have a powder coat gun, I probably ought to have a fluidizer cup. Fluidizer cup has got to be driven by controlled air pressures. So you got to have a box like this that costs about $450. Nope, I'm going to save some money. I'll buy some pressure regulators, plugs, manifold. Need some fittings. I'll also have to have some tubing and the attachments that go on the fluidizer cup itself. And this is what they'll look like when they get hooked up to the cup. When everything gets put together, this is what it'll look like. If you look close in the background, there's a desiccant cartridge. There's a picture of it in close-up. So here are all the parts laid out on the table. You can see all the fittings. And then I've got the regulators that are here, and of course their gauges and stuff. Now all we got to do is try to figure out how to get it put in a box. So I figure it'll take me a piece of metal. I'll put some lines across it, and then I'll mark it out so I'll know exactly where to bend and exactly where to drill, and then we'll fabricate it. I've got a drill and a hole punch kit. I'm ready to go, and we'll see if we can get this thing started. So here's all the holes drilled out, and it doesn't look too bad.
For $125, that beats $450.
And there's all the components installed in it. Man, all right. Whoa, wait. How about a new box? One that'll look a lot better. Maybe it'll look like this. So we got to put it together. So here we go. And there we go. Now let's go on to a fluidizer cup. This one costs 45 bucks. Nope, I think I'll make one of my own. Board, a few pieces of PVC, some metal to attach to the bottom, some paint, and voila, there we go. All 3 powder coat cups, different colors. The valves will be across here. They'll be fed by the box up here. I won't have to do this inner connection. I'll just take this one block into the top and it will distribute down, and whichever one I want to use, that's the one I plug on to. I never have to leave this spot. So what's he up to now? Well, gonna take some solid copper wire here, a little 1/4 inch, well 8mm cut-off valve, piece of material, planer, saw, and we're gonna make a little something. This is part 1. Then I took a piece of that copper, cleaned it up, straightened it up, ran it all the way through down there. And other than wiggling a little at the top, they are attached. They're not going to fall out. So what happens next? Each one of these bays right here will get its own distribution manifold above it, like this. And that's kind of what it's supposed to look like when it gets done. So 1 input, 3 outputs. So where did we leave off? Yesterday we got these valves installed with a locking rod through all of the little holes there on the sides, all the way down, and we epoxied it to the back surface. I probably should have painted those, but nevertheless, now we got to figure out what we're going to do about the manifolds to keep them from flopping around. So how are we going to do something about that? So I took apart an old oven a while back. I kept the sheet metal from it. So I came in here and this piece is not flattened, but I flattened this out. And then in turn, I cut me some little strips like that with my Harbor Freight shear. So after I got done with those, then I had to figure out how am I going to mount them. So I went and I bent these. And every one of them, there are 6, but the awl, punched a hole in all of these so that I can put these little screws in here. So what's it going to look like? It's not perfect, but they are on there and they will mount flush against here so that when they get screwed down, will be oriented and they won't move. Now, I will probably cut some pieces from here to the different locations that they go, and then I will sand this board, please spray paint it. If I do that, I've got to protect these. Well, we got the board sanded and we've got a good primer coat on it. We got all the brackets over here and they're all painted and ready to go. To take these, we have to put them on there like that. Another one like that. And then once they're on there, we will cut us some pieces. It will look kind of like that. And then we'll put them down in here. And there we go. They all look pretty good. That pressure regulator over here, and we'll be about ready to put some labels on it and pressurize those powder coat cups. Regulate. Incoming air. Regulate it. Dehumidified. Pressure controlled. Out. Up into the box that has the desiccant on it, through the box, and regulate it for 3 outputs. 1 feeds 3 cups. depending on the color that you want. All three could be on or all three could be off. So this is the fluidizer port right here that makes the powder in here. That plate bumps up and down based on pressure going in from here, and it makes the powder in here be light and fluffy so that it can get sucked up this tube, and then the other air coming into these two ports pushes it out through what's called a Venturi effect, and then it goes in the hose and off to be applied by the powder coat gun. Okay, so it's in there now, it's facing up. It will get the fluidizing black hose that goes in there. I didn't show you that at the top, this is a vent port. So as this is putting pressure into here, pressure will begin to build up, creating that lift on the powder. But eventually it may get to be too high because you're not ejecting the powder. So it's got to have a place to vent out, and that's what this is for. Let's talk about what's left. Okay, so the box is built. The fan back here works. You have to pull the electrical cord around, and we have to establish a power block. It's probably going to be on this side. But that means we have to route the light switch. But otherwise, for all intents and purposes, this should be about ready to go here. So what do we have up here? All right, so we have the pressure regulating box for conveyance, supplementary, and fluidizing air, which is fed from a desiccant cartridge. Now that desiccant cartridge has got to have a line put in it. I would like to control the pressure, but I don't have to. So here is my source right here. So we're going to come off of this, and we're going to come up into that, and then it will be dry air, and it'll be through here, and then it comes around, and it goes down through into our block that we created. Then from those, we decide which of the gun's colors we want to use, and then we turn on its appropriate 3 settings. What have I got down here so far? Well, I've got the first one with conveyance, supplementary, and fluidizing, and it has a vent. I've got the second one. It's completely plumbed in. And then the third one, that orange cable was a little too short. It's got to come all the way back down here. But the black one is ready, but I don't have one of these type fittings to put in there. So I'm short 2 things. One, but we still have 2 cups that will work. So what else is left? Well, right down there on that very end, I have a little bit of a plan if it will work. I'll show you that. I found a older, lower pressure, I say lower pressure, lower volume, 1/4 inch bead. Also happen to have a water separator right there. So what I'm planning on doing is fabricating me a hose to come from the air compressor into the bottom of this right here. It will feed the air up, it will get regulated by here, and then it will come out that right there and go over and into the other desiccant cartridge. It will come along, just a little bit at a time.